Greetings, brethren of the Davidians around the world. This is the Helpers of Zerubbabel. I'm your presenter, Brother Stanley Zombe. Today, our presentation is on why are many Davidians today following voices of strangers and robbers. We shall see that in our midst today as Davidians, they are strangers and robbers. So then, why are many Davidians following these strangers and robbers? We shall find out. Strangers, thieves, and robbers among Davidians. We read from John 10, verse 27 to 28 and verse 5. We read, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I give unto them eternal life, that they may never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. And a stranger will they not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of strangers. All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them." So, brethren, here the Bible tells us in John that the sheep, they will always hear the voice of God. And God here confirms and says, he knows them, and his sheep, they do follow him. Who are you following today, my brother and sister? Are you following Jesus, or you are following these strangers and robbers in our midst today? And here, the Bible is telling us that the sheep, those that are following Jesus, they will not follow strangers. They will flee from strangers, because these sheep that are following Jesus, they do not know voice of strangers. Brothers and sisters, it is a time that we need to wake up, because in our midst there are voices of strangers who are thieves and robbers. We also see from patriots and prophets one key mark to identify these voices of strangers and the thieves and robbers. We're being told that the mixed multitude had been the first to indulge murmuring and impatient, and they were the leaders in the apostasy that followed. So here we see that these are thieves and these robbers who are actually wolves in sheep clothing among Davidians. They are the leaders in apostasy. They are the leaders, brothers and sisters, in apostasy. They will always oppose what the Lord has said, as we are going to see. They will always bring counterfeit literature, counterfeit charts, and they do not want to decentralize. They are the leaders in apostasy. Lack of understanding of the times. This is why many Davidians, brothers and sisters, are following the voice of strangers and robbers. Davidians do not understand the times that we are living in. We read from 1 Chronicles 12, verse 32. It reads, "And of the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do. The heads of them were 200, and all their brethren were at their command." I do not know, brothers and sisters, do you know or do you understand the times that we are living in? Do you know what Davidians ought to be doing today, or you are part of these strangers and thieves and robbers who are opposing the plan of God, who are actually standing, who are actually a stumbling block to make as many Davidians to fall. Which side are you on, my brother and my sister? Our work today is to set up publishing houses around the globe. Do you understand this concept, brothers and sisters? Do you understand why God wants the true Davidians today, those ones that are the helpers of Zerubbabel, to do this work? Do you understand? Do you really understand the message of the that is in the Golden Bowl? We read from Testimonies for the Church, Volume 7, page 140. It reads, and in a large degree, through our publishing houses, is to be accomplished the work of that other angel who comes down from heaven with great power and who lightens the earth with his glory. Solemn is the responsibility that rests upon our houses of publication. We also read from Timely Greetings, Volume 1, number 27, page 11. It reads, surely Micah 6 leaves no doubt, brothers and sisters, whatsoever, that the time is fully come for God's people to get down to business as never before. These ones, brothers, are the sheep that are following Jesus. It continues, it says that the message with which we have been entrusted, inspiration commands, should be scattered as the leaves of autumn. Testimonies, Volume 9, page 231. And here are the leaves that are being spoken of here, brothers and sisters. It is the literature of the shepherd's rod. And that other angel, the message of that other angel. And in our publishing houses, we are to publish the works of that other angel. In other words, the works of the shepherd's rod. How God inspired Brother Viti, the message that was written, Brother Viti, all those publications should be printed in these publishing houses and be given to our brothers and sisters. Here, our inspiration is telling us that they need to be scattered as the leaves of autumn. Brothers and sisters, are we scattering the shepherd's rod today as the leaves of autumn? Is this what you are doing? And God here has actually told us how we are going to accomplish this work. It is only through the publishing houses. Davidians are too lazy to study. We read from Unadventist Activities, page 23. It reads, What is really surprising, though, is that there are many, especially of the laity, who will, without a question and with their eyes closed, like birds in a nest, swallow whatever is handed to them. They are too lazy to think and too drowsy to open their eyes to study for themselves. They expect the minister to carry them in his arms right into heaven. We also read from Timely Greetings, Volume 1, Numbers 21, page 12. It reads, the bird fish represents those who, with no real knowledge, conviction, or conversion of their own, but through emotions and the influence of others, join the church. So it is that those who never studiously, wholeheartedly and zealously take hold of the principles of Christ are cast out, there to perish with the tares. All who are too lazy to study and who give the devil a chance to sow devilish seed in their hearts, making them believe that the preacher or the minister will take them through the pearly gates, having no experience of their own, are cheated of eternal life. They instead get eternal death. This is what, brothers and sisters, will happen to many Davidians as they perish at the purification of the church, because they are following these bogus associations, these bogus ministers in these association and their executive councils, which are not even inspired of God. They are the ones who are standing, who are becoming a stumbling block to many Davidians, so that they reject this plan of God to set up publishing houses, to reach out to the 22 plus million of Adventists around the globe. The reason being, most Davidians are too lazy to study on their own. They do not know what is written in the Golden Bowl. They do not know the writings of the both prophets, Ellen G. White and Brother V.T. Whatever. They just accept everything with their eyes closed. They do not even question what these bogus associations are teaching. They do not even ask for a thus says the Lord. Why? Because they are not even studying. It's a tragedy, brothers and sisters, that we are in today. The same way the Laodicean are being deceived by the ministers in the SDA church. It's the same way how the ministers, these bogus associations, are also deceiving many Davidians today. Private interpretations among Davidians. We read from tract number 8. Page 24, it reads, "And as according to Daniel 4, verse 20 to 22, tares are figurative of rulers. Therefore, the trees in this instant represent the ancient men before the house." Ezekiel 9, verse 6. The fact which reveals that in this period, the church's headquarters are in the two-horned beast domain, the new world, the earth, that is to say the United States of America. And now most Davidians from Mountaindale, Waco, and many other these bogus associations, they are using this quotation. They have actually turned, they're telling their blind followers that these headquarters that is being spoken of are here. It is their bogus associations. So therefore, they cannot decentralize the work and have publishing houses around the globe. Brothers and sisters, this is deception. This quotation here, track number 8, page 24, is talking about the church's headquarters of the Seventh-day Adventist. And we are being told from this quotation that these headquarters here, they will remain in America until the purification of the church. We know that, brothers and sisters, after that, when the church has been purified, the next headquarters of the church of God's people will be in Palestine. Now, brothers and sisters, we are in the scattering time. We do not need these bogus headquarters, these bogus associations that are in America. We need publishing houses. They are afraid that when they decentralize the work, they won't get the money. They won't get the tithe. Brothers, it is a tragedy that we are having these strangers, these robbers in our midst that are robbing, are kidnapping Davidians. Why? Because Davidians are too lazy. They are not even studying. They do not know what's written in the Golden Bowl. God has taken the reins in his hands. We read from Testimonies to Ministers and Gospel Workers, page 300. It reads, "When light goes forth to lighten the earth, instead of coming up to help of the Lord, they will want to bind about his work to meet their narrow ideas. Let me tell you that the Lord will work in this last work in a manner very much out of common order of things, and in a way that will be contrary to any human planning. There will be those among us who will always want to control the work of God, to detect even what movements shall be made when the work goes forward under the direction of the angel who joins the third angel in the message to be given to the world. God will use ways and means by which it will be seen that he is taking the reins in his own hands. The workers will be surprised by the simple means that he will use to bring about and perfect his work of righteousness. Brothers and sisters, one way that we see God taking the reins into his own hands is the establishment of the kingdom of the publishing houses around the globe. God today is using these publishing houses so that the message of the hour, the present truth message of the purification of the church may reach out to our brothers and sisters in Laodicea. But we see that these bogus associations, they are binding up the work in America because they are greedy dogs that are written in Isaiah. They are just worried about money. They want to feed and fill their stomachs. They are not working for God, but they're working for the devil. There are those shepherds that are written in Ezekiel chapter 34, whom God will soon remove to lead his people because they are working for the devil. God takes charge of the flock. We read from Testimonies for the Church, volume 5, page 79. It reads, "We have been inclined to think that where there are no faithful ministers, there can be no true Christians. But this is not the case. God has promised that where the shepherds are not true, he will take charge of the flock himself. God has never made the flock wholly dependent upon human instrumentalities. But the days of purification are hastening apace. God will have a pupil pure and true. In the mighty swifting soon to take place, we shall be better able to measure the strength of Israel. The signs reveal that the time is near when the Lord will manifest that his fan is in his hand and he will thoroughly purge his flow. Thank God for the faithful helpers of Zerubbabel who understand the times, who are like the children of Issachar. They will continue being faithful to the work, setting up publishing houses, scattering the leaves of autumn, that is the publications of the shepherd's rod, to every one grass in the field, so that these writings, they may find their place in the hands and in the homes of all Seventh-day Adventists before probation closes, before it's too late. Brothers and sisters, this is a voice of concern. Will you not be part of these people? Will you not join with these people and do the Lord's biddings? Choose today what you will follow. Are you going to follow these thieves and robbers? Are you going to follow these strangers in our midst? Brothers and sisters, we need to be able to identify the voice of the true shepherd. Points to consider. Today, among Davidians, there are many voices of strangers and robbers. Davidians are too lazy to study, hence they follow these strangers and robbers as they teach falsehood doctrines. One of the ways God has taken the reins into his hands is through the setting of publishing houses around the globe. For more information, you can contact us at admins at Helpers of Zerubbabel, or you can call us, you can send us a WhatsApp message, the numbers are on the screen, or you can send an email to us at helpersofzerubbabel@gmail.com. May God, brothers and sisters, help us today to flee from these robbers and these thieves in our midst. God bless.